Someone flicks me a bad body. Say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
iBoxingHub, I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey, and our special guest, Gman.
Boom. How are you, lads?
All good. Just really excited to talk, boxing with you, Gman, and especially with my cousin as well. Firstly, obviously, I wanted to just give a shout out to Congo. Congo's obviously playing today, Zambia, so it's a big game for the AFCONs. I'm obviously supporting them as a Congolese. And also shout out to everyone that's involved in supporting the channel. We do these shows just for you guys, and we want to just get your voices out there, but then at the same time, give you access through guests like G-Man. So G-Man, it's good to have you on the show today so we can talk boxing.
Mate, absolute pleasure. I'm happy to talk boxing anywhere. Anytime. I love it. You told me we're going to talk heavyweights. I'm like, oh, you already sold it to me before, but talking heavyweights now, you couldn't have sold it any better.
Yes. So let's start away. I mean, what's your thoughts, about AJ fighting Ngannou?
It shows how quick they do things in Saudi. Like, they don't just plan for one fight. They have plan B, C, and D in reserve, because it seemed like when the Wilder lost to Parker, it was like, all right, AJ Hrgovic next, fair enough. Just like that, this just comes up, and now you're like, all right then. It's a good card, but I was kind of hoping there'd be a few more heavyweight fights. Like, I was surprised because I like Parker Zhang, but they were talking about Wilder Zhang in the build-up, and we even heard Finkel talk about it, and I'm like, well, where is Wilder now? Like, it's not that he's not fighting Zhang, he's not even on the card. Where's Hrgovic? I'm sure the Saudis are still probably kicking themselves. They paid him whatever for that Mark Demori fight. So I'd say they won't be having him on anytime soon after that. But I was kind of thinking, I was like a few more heavyweight fights on there, but I'm still happy. Like, we've got two really good cards within 3 weeks of one another. And that's just the start of the year. What I loved about that conference we seen the other day is they're planning ahead until June. They have the first 6 months of the year planned. I can only imagine what the last 6 months are going to be. Like, these Saudis just have money to burn, and we're getting great fights as a result. I can't complain.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, G-Man. It's an exciting time. Obviously, big up Mr. Pads. He's obviously saying big up Bukayo Saka as well. He's obviously asking you, why did Fury get more hate than AJ for fighting Ngannou? That's a good question to actually kick us off, really.
I think it's a very simple question. I think it's a simple one. For me, Anthony Joshua is not a world champion. He's not looking to fight for a world. Well, he is eventually, but he's not talking about doing it now. He's not holding the division up. Him fighting Francis Ngannou isn't going to stop an undisputed fight happening. It's not going to stop a mandatory getting his crack at a title, right? Is Ngannou top 10 heavyweight? In my opinion, no. I know he's ranked by the BBC, but he's not. Do I think AJ's going to win? Yeah. With Tyson Fury, he is WBC heavyweight champion. He's proclaiming himself the best heavyweight of this era, and he's not fighting his contenders. And when Anthony Joshua was proclaimed the best heavyweight when he had all his titles, he was fighting his mandatories. He was trying to unify. He was fighting contenders. He wasn't holding the division up. Before this Usyk fight was announced and this Ngannou fight was announced, you had Frank Warren saying to Adam Cattrall, what planet are you on for even insinuating Fury should fight a contender if he can't fight Usyk? So when you're doing that, you see, as a champion, you're held to a higher standard. You are expected to be fighting the best available contenders, or trying to unify or be undisputed. If you're not doing that, you're stopping undisputed. You're stopping mandatories getting their crack. You're stopping a lot of things. I mean, who would want to be WBC #1 contender when you might have to wait for 2, maybe even 3 years? I mean, they've only had, 2, 3 mandatories in the last 6, 7 years. So that's what happens when Fury says he's going to fight Ngannou. With Joshua, it's not stopping anyone getting title shots. It's not stopping undisputed. It's not stopping any of that. He's not a champion. So why not?
Yeah. Wow, it's powerful cards.
But it's that simple.
It's just, I just find it, I feel that it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of the heavyweight division, but I feel that it's a bit unfair because they mentioned that the winner of Ngannou and AJ will fight the undisputed champion, and I feel that ain't it a bit unfair for Hergovich because he's been waiting for, I believe, over a year or two for the IBF title shot.
Well, yeah, it'd be 2 years come August this year. And I think it's also unfair to the winner of Zhang Parker because Joe Parker has fought Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang in back-to-back fights. Zhilei Zhang, if he wins, he'll have beaten Joe Joyce twice to get his #1 contender spot and will have beaten Joseph Parker. Now, I like Filip Hergovich, but he's beaten Zhilei Zhang in a controversial fight, and then he's fought Dempsey McKean and Mark DeMori. Now, he's earned his right, but you can't. You got to turn around and say the winner of Zhang Parker deserves it more, because they've been putting that work in. When Hergovich did, he scraped that Zhang fight by the skin of his teeth. He fought Dempsey McKean, who was he wasn't thought of much. He was talked about one of Joshua's comeback fights at one point, and then he goes and fights the ATG of the small hall boxing over there in Hungary, Mark DeMori. A man who has literally spent 20 years in the prospect stage and has now gone from prospect to over the hill. Started in his 20s, in his 40s, still fighting the same journeyman. That's who he fought, yeah.
Wow, no, that is actually just so powerful. That's why it's such an honor to, have, fellow boxing fans, like us. We watch the game and the analysis is tremendous. And big up Lucy here. She's saying, in Fury's defense, the WBC didn't have a mandatory for him when he fought Ngannou. So, guys, what's your thoughts about that, really? And Lucy's also saying Usyk Fury winner is going to be stripped of the IBF title as well. So Lucy's getting involved.
Most likely. We need to wait and see, because God knows with the money that's on the line, and the Saudis are talking about the winner fighting, keep it all in Saudi, the winner of Joshua versus Ngannou fighting the winner of Fury Usyk. With those sanction fees and the money that can be made, I wonder will the IBF maybe think, do you know what, Filip Hergovich, maybe take a bit of a step aside. We've got bills to pay too.
Yeah.
But then that's another thing, right? Okay, let's just say Fury beats Usyk and AJ beats Ngannou. Don't you think this fight should be here in the UK? I believe maybe Saudi can still host it, but it should be here because they're both Brits, and I feel that we deserve, as a fan, that fight needs to be here. I mean,
I'd love it. I'd love it in the UK. I would. The only problem is that these guys, and I guess it's one of the kind of double-edged swords of having all these shows in Saudi, is that these guys are used to getting absolutely insane purses for these fights, that if they were to do Fury versus Joshua in the UK and they wanted the same amount of money, they'd have to do Wembley Stadium. To be even in the nosebleed section, you'd be having to pay an insane amount of money. I mean, you think about it, how much would it have been to go and see Joshua Klitschko? To get really, really bad seats at the very top of Wembley where you needed binoculars. You would have paid, what, £50 thereabouts, if even?
Yeah.
For Fury to make this fight, they would have, God knows how much. You'd be paying almost VIP level money just for the privilege of watching Fury versus Joshua with binoculars. You'd have to do that, more likely, to get the money they're getting in Saudi from the South fees for this fight. It should be in the UK. It is that fight is made for the UK. It's made for Wembley Stadium. It's the two biggest heavyweights in the UK, not by a country mile, by a chasm. They've had rivalry. There's been that beef there since Joshua turned pro. It's always been that needle there between them. It needs to be in the UK. That's the catch-22 of boxing in Saudi, is that they're getting so much money. These guys are like, well, why do it in the UK when we do it in Saudi? We're going to rake the money up, absolutely rake it up. And if we did it in the UK, we probably would have to get into purse split, egos, and would say it's just like, here's money each, go and do what you want. That's the catch-22 of it. But I think it should be in the UK if it happens.
Yeah, same. I agree. I agree
with you both, really, because that fight of that magnitude, if you're Eddie Hearn and if you're Frank Rowan, you can just promote it as the best of Britain. Like, this is the best of Britain. Heavyweights. It's the global division. in terms of commercial value, really. So it's a no-brainer. And big up our brother Ra. He's obviously saying big up Gman. What a top guest to have on. Look, it's a special treat for 2024. Just look, the heavyweight division looks like it's booming right now. Just a quick one. What fight would you love to have next? The one that's not announced. What's like one of the fights that you think, you know what, it hasn't been announced, but I think this is one of the fights that should happen in 2024?
In any division that is like being talked about, or just in general? Look, we're getting Fury versus Usyk. We're getting Bivol versus Beterbiev, right? Potentially the winner is going to fight the Joshua Ngannou winner. But if I could, someone said to me right now, you can make any fight in boxing. It's only one: Boots versus Crawford. That's it. Because it looks like Spence isn't going to be taking that rematch. So why not Crawford fight Boots for his old title?
Yes.
I would absolutely, if I could make any fight right now, it's not already made, it'd be that. 100%. And I wouldn't even think twice it'd be Boots Crawford. It would be unbelievable. If Boots wins, oh my God, we've got a star on our hands here. He already is, but we've got an even bigger one. If Crawford wins, that will enhance his legacy no end, because I think win or lose, Boots Ennis is going to have a great career. It could be like Canelo when he fought Mayweather. You take his O, but he goes on to win world titles at 154, 160. Crawford can be like, well, I took that guy's O originally when he was undefeated.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. Because if you were to pick a winner, Boots, Crawford, who you got?
Do you know what? I would have to pick Crawford because I want Crawford to move up and to fight Charlo. That's a fight I want to see at 154.
Crawford, Canelo. Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, so Ra, you've thrown in a good one here. He's saying, no, big up Ra. He's saying Canelo versus Crawford because Bud can win. Guys, do you think Bud has what it takes to move up to 168 against Canelo, Cinco de Mayo? I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys. Let's have it.
I think that's too much.
So.
Nah, it's too much. I looked at Charlo. Remember when Charlo moved up to 168, and it's like Canelo didn't even respect his power. So nah, there's no point. No point.
Charlo knocking people's heads clean off at 154. Canelo was like, what is this? Crawford's not even doing that at 147.
But do you know what? I really want to see Conor Benn and Boots. That's the fight I want to see.
You must really hate that boy.
No, because look, this fight was going on.
Right now,
still fighting. Well, look, he apparently they approached him, and Boots is not interested. So I just think, look, if Conor keeps winning and he's active, we could potentially get that fight end of this year.
I'd love to see it because for me, if you're willing to put Ben in with a middleweight and Chris Eubank Jr., put him in with a world champion in your respective division, 100%. I just think Boots. I remember the first time I seen him was about 4 years ago, 5 years ago nearly. It was 2019. At the time, I'd only really known about Ortiz as the prospect. So when you see someone, you're like, that talent just jumps out at you. You're like, he's a star. Without you're like, he's a star. And I think he's going to go and have a crazy career. Boots Ennis.
No, I 100% agree with you. Al Heyman, I'm going to ask you to do something very random. Could you put the link, the studio link for Ra? If you want to join us, come in, Ra. Come in. Let's get involved. He's obviously saying he wants to analyze where he thinks Bud can beat Crawford. So I'm just interested to see how he takes that, man. And big up Lucy as well. Lucy's obviously saying Conor really has some work to do to get that title shot. I definitely agree. It's gonna be a tough challenge for him. Yeah, I'm just excited, honestly. But he's saying, look, Ra's done a runner. He's saying can't join tonight. Look, you've had the opportunity. That's it. That's it. It's
gone. You're gonna leave us guessing. You're gonna leave us guessing how Canelo loses Crawford.
Can't say I didn't try. Big up. But no, I generally think that this will be a good opportunity for Boots. But Crawford, tough. It's going to be tough. But I agree with you, G-Man. It's possible. Something here can happen. a star can be born, and why not make it happen? If he's been stripped and been made champion, make the fight happen. Get your belt back. Reclaim.
Reclaim 2-time undisputed in the same weight division. At least you can say you've completed welterweight twice. And then go up to 154. I don't like seeing guys clean out a division without leaving that one last stone unturned. And I think that's it. I think with him, you know, Thurman, what's he doing these days? Nothing. You don't need to worry about him. But you look at Boots, and it's like he's there, man. He is there. Go and let's see how good Boots is. We know how good Crawford is, but let's see how good Boots really is.
Do you know what? Another fight that I would like to see, these two are both inactive. They've been inactive for, I believe, 2 years, is Thurman and Adrian Broner fight each other.
That would be, that'd be actually a funny fight. I wouldn't mind saying that. That would be just a weird, funny fight. I used to love Keith Thurman when he was in his prime. It's just so sad, like the way he's literally, he is like another Deontay Wilder. He tried some of that stuff. And yeah, he's happy now.
He's very, very happy, because I remember, look, me and my cousin, we've been sort of doing this for quite some time. I used to tell him one time, Keith Thurman, watch out for him. Like when he was a unified champion at one point, he had those big fights, you know, with Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. I was thinking, yes, but I think it was the shoulder injury that prevented the Errol Spence fight. That for me was the point where we're seeing the dip. And big up to Tony Ellis as well. He's obviously saying we might see Haney versus Broner. But what was you about to say there, G-Man?
No, I was going to say the same. I think the injuries kind of screwed Thurman over. He was meant to fight. There was a couple of fights he had after Garcia that got derailed because of injuries. And it was shoulder, then it was elbow, then it was something else. Like, it's weird because he doesn't come across as someone who should be injury prone. He looks fairly natural. But look, he was known to having a brittle body, and maybe that translates to the rest of his body.
No, definitely. I agree with you. Oh, we've got a few decent things here. So big up. Ra's obviously saying, G-Man, will you go to the Belfast show in a few weeks?
Do you know what? I love Belfast. I do. I love Belfast, but I'm not going to that one. I'm not going to that one. I'm going to try and get to one show in the UK before I end up moving over there fully. So try and get one show where I can kind of go and enjoy it as just, you know, kind of passing through before I got to face reality and live there, which is a good thing, but I won't be able to just be carefree anymore.
Oh, no, 100%. And look, Aisha, massive shout out to our sister Aisha. She obviously has the Green Diamond show on this channel every Monday. She's obviously saying that Haney versus Ben. She obviously spoke to Haney, you know, in Saudi Arabia, and he did say, you know, he would be open to fighting Ben if the money's right.
Yeah, why not? They're both matchroom. I don't see why you couldn't do that. I mean, Devin Haney, I was shocked when I saw those weigh-ins, like those second-day weigh-ins. I knew he was a big boy, but damn, I thought like in the high 150s. When I seen 165, I was like, damn, like this guy could easily do welterweight tomorrow.
Yeah. You can see why he wants to move up as well. It kind of makes sense, and it's quite similar to also. And this is a little bit off topic, but the fight is happening this weekend. Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer. Mayer is obviously normally she's 160, but she would boil down to 130 in the past. Now she's obviously boiling down to a weight division that looks quite reasonable, and I can kind of compare the scenarios between her and Haney in a way, in terms of them in their normal weights to, you know, fighting in a weight division that's more comfortable for them.
We see that a lot in female boxing. You know, I think Amanda Serrano's gone down to flyweight in fights before. It's crazy, really, when you think about it. Holding weight divisions at 130 and 112. It's like, how do you even fathom that?
I don't know. This is absolutely crazy. And Tony Ellis, big up to you. He's saying Haney will have a better career than Floyd when it's all said and done.
That's a statement.
What do you think?
I don't think he will. I think Floyd is one in a million.
Yes.
I think it's going to be nearly impossible to do a career as well as Floyd did. Not just in terms of how you manage it, but how talented Floyd was. And we forget, Floyd wasn't. Devin Haney's a slickster now, When Floyd was that age, he wasn't a slickster. He was pretty boy Floyd. He was
Thank
letting those
you
shots
so
go.
much. Thank you so much, G-Man. Thank you. This is why I just love, having someone like you on the show, because Mayweather has two versions. We've seen Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather at lightweight,
Which I
so
loved.
high. Oh man, remember
I love Pretty Boy Floyd.
Remember the Corrales fight?
Yeah, he made that was bad.
Oh,
my man was something else in his prime. Now I love Floyd back then. 130 to 140 Floyd. That was just
mean.
Loma, all those. No way. No way.
Yeah.
Not even.
Not close.
G-Man, I have a question for you. Do you think that Ngannou, so back to the heavyweight, do you think Ngannou is a threat to AJ? Can he do the job and beat AJ?
That's a good one.
Yes. I mean, listen, it's heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. But do I think he will? No. I think that Fury fight, I don't want to take it away from Ngannou because he was, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But I think that was Fury just going in there thinking, candy from a baby. Get candy from a baby. Floyd Mayweather, when he fought McGregor, he didn't need to get out of first gear to win that fight. And I guarantee you Fury thought it was something similar. The only difference is Floyd still had to make weight. Fury didn't. That's why Floyd looked in good shape. But Fury thought it's taking candy from a baby and then was surprised. It's like you prepare for a run-of-the-mill fighter and you get someone good. You're like, oh, crap, I wasn't ready for this. That's like when you see prospects get turned out by journeymen. They think like, oh, this is going to be easy. Oh, crap, I wasn't mentally ready for this as much as physically. And I think that was it. With Joshua, I think Joshua knows what he's going to get. Now, maybe Ngannou will turn up, and again, he'll surprise me. I think the strength of Ngannou, don't underestimate that. But yeah, I see this as Joshua's going to have the fight that I think Fury should have had.
Right.
That's what I think is going to happen. He'll have the fight Fury should have had.
Yeah, and you could argue as well that Joshua's got an advantage because he's actually got footage of Ngannou in a boxing ring. So, man, it's good work for him.
He does, and there's also the counter argument that he has the footage of him, but that won't be the Ngannou who turns up. You're preparing for the guy who's going to be awkward and box, and maybe Ngannou will say, all right, Fury, I tried to box the boxer. Well, I'm going to take it to Joshua and see how he likes that. Because we know Joshua, if you really stick it on Joshua and start making him work, he doesn't like that. Fury doesn't seem to mind it. But Joshua, you don't like that.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Cuz, what's your general thoughts, after soaking in that this fight's finally going to happen? And big up to the family as well. Big up to Rico, Ra, Aisha. They was at the presser. And they obviously gave, the fans a good experience about what's going on there. But, Cuz, what's your thoughts about, this fight, man? I want to see what you generally think.
I think, right, obviously AJ is the better boxer. And Ngannou, obviously, coming from the UFC background, he's a striker. I can't see AJ trading with Ngannou, but what I can see him doing is breaking the body down round by round. The body shots that will slow Ngannou down, and then I think he'll eventually drop him. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it going, because AJ is not stupid. He's not gonna go there explosive now. He even said that I'm gonna have to study him. He said that he studied Ngannou already at UFC, like when he's standing with his opponent, how he strikes, etc. Do you know what I mean? So I think he studied him, and I think we're gonna see something special from Ngannou, but I think AJ is just gonna be smarter on that night.
I think so too.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you both. Honestly, I'm just really excited that we've got these fights happening, and 2024, what a start to the year. This is back to back events.
Also, I've got a question for you guys and for the viewers viewing. They mentioned about Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, their top 5. So a big event for Matchroom and Queensberry. Who do you think should be the top 5 from Queensberry and Matchroom?
You gotta have a couple. You can't just have all big names. You gotta put some prospects. I'm putting Atelma versus Fisher on that card. I'm putting Atelma, and I'm thinking Atelma beats Fisher.
I'm
taking him. I'm taking Atelma over Fisher. I'm taking Yard versus Smith, Callum Smith.
Yep. Ooh, yep.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. I'm taking Sam Noakes versus, I don't know if I do Andy Cruz. That's a miss. They were talking about that. I was like, nah, man, that's a mismatch.
Yeah,
that's a mismatch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I would actually go and do Sam Noakes. I take a risk. Sam Noakes, Gary Cully. Ireland versus England. Two big punching lightweights.
Yes.
I'm thinking that's more level. That's 3. I would go. I had an idea in my head there. I would go Hamza Shearers versus Felix Cash.
Oh my days, yeah.
Felix Cash.
Yeah.
Domestic. See, why does it have to be America? Why can't we have UK dust-ups? They're both UK promoters. Right? I know they both have, but I'm thinking like that. And then to kill it off, to really kill it off, I'm just trying to think. Like, I'd love Dubois versus Joshua, but I got to be realistic. I got to be a bit realistic there. I'm thinking, that last one would be a tricky one because I'm trying to think who I would take. Because I'd like to kill it off with a heavyweight, but the only other heavyweight I can think of, Hearn has a Chisora. We don't want to see Dubois Chisora, lads.
Yeah.
We don't want to see Chisora. We don't want to see that. That could, if he's still with him and they can get around those little issues, Dubois versus White.
Ooh, Lucy's getting involved. Look here, she's saying Raven Chapman and Sky Nicholson. That could be a good one as well.
I've never seen Sky Nicholson fight, so I can't really say. I've seen Chapman fight, so I don't really know. I don't know what Sky Nicholson's like as a fighter.
Ooh, and Ra's getting involved as well. Big up. He's saying Smith versus O'Leary. Could be a good one as well. It's juicy. Al Heyman's getting involved. He's saying Dubois versus McKean. Could be an interesting one as well.
Easy enough one for Dubois, that I think, man. I wouldn't be backing McKean in that one.
No, it's absolutely perfect, honestly.
I like that. You got a bit of everything. You've got domestic, you've got fringe world, you've got prospects.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. If you was to ask me, I'm sticking with Gman.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna stick with Gman as well. Honestly, you know why I'm gonna stick with you, Gman? Because I like the way you thought about the whole roster, prospects, mixed it up. So look, I'm happy with that as well. And this is a interesting one as well. Honey versus Atuma. Who wins? Who wins?
Oh, too much experience for Justice Uni. Too experienced, man. Atuma. I take him over someone like Fisher, who's green as well, but I think Cooney's a little bit too experienced. But you never know. Atuma is talented.
What about Atuma and Fabio Woodley?
Oh, Wadley still. But we don't know. Is he with Queensbury or who is he with? What's he doing? He's not officially with Queensbury.
He's working with Queensbury, but he's still a free agent. But then he's in talks with Matchroom as well. So I don't know what's going on.
Smart man.
Neither do I, man.
He's a very, very smart man, and big up to Fabio Wardley. I'm not even gonna lie, G-man. My cousin, he did actually say that Fabio Wardley a few years ago is going to be the next world champion after Fury retires, after Joshua retires, after when these guys have gone, Usyk, everything's been decided and the belts have been spread out. Fabio Wardley, next world champion.
I never seen it until he fought Ally, and then I was like, where was this guy a couple of fights ago?
Maybe he just didn't have the competition.
Maybe.
You need the right dance partner to produce.
The Molinas, the Nick Webbs of the world didn't do it.
Not even at all. Yeah, and Palamos Music's obviously saying any room in the card for Eddie versus Frank Warren. Could we squeeze in?
Listen. Eddie Hearn is good, but Frank Warren has taken bullets and came through that, so there's no keeping him down. That's Eddie Hearn can try as he like. Frank Warren's walked through bullets and told the doctors where to go. So he might be 72, but write him off at your peril.
No, definitely. Yeah, what you say, cuz?
That's a good one. Fisher and Audley, because ever since Audley lost to Fabio, I haven't seen him. So I think him and Fisher, that would be a good fight.
He's fighting Solomon Dakis next, apparently, but I would take. I've never really rated Johnny Fisher. I don't. Mate, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really understand it. He's a fairly run-of-the-mill heavyweight whose dad's eating himself to death, and people wanted to see that. All right, fair enough. To each his own. But I'm struggling a bit with that one.
Bosh.
Bosh.
He does numbers, innit? I think he's well known. Well, he's got a big fan base in Essex, so he does. He brings crowd.
Yes,
crowd.
He does.
He does do well. Honestly, I love the Bosch energy, man. Honestly, so Adelaide versus fighting the Clays. Ooh,
yeah. English title.
English title, yeah.
English titles on the line.
Imagine Solomon Dakis thinking Frank Warren signed me. Yeah, he's going to treat me right first fight. Yeah, I'm putting you at Adelaide. God damn. Yeah. I'm getting the Joe Joyce treatment here.
Oh, he's fighting, is it what? Cash Ali? Joe Joyce?
Jaws, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like him. Big Jaws.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one, of course. And Bukayo Saka's saying Herkovich versus Joyce. Ooh, that could be a little cheeky one. That is a cheeky one. I do like that.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good
you forget.
one. Ooh,
I don't think Herkovich is a matchroom fighter anymore. That's the only thing.
Oh, yeah.
His contract is up with Matchroom. So he's still a free. Maybe that's why he's not on this next card, actually, in Saudi. Because he ain't with Matchroom or Queensbury.
No, definitely. But no, honestly, this has been a tremendous show.
Just
but
last question. Last question before you go. I think because Wilder and Jerome Miller both lost on that night, I think them two should fight each other. And then the winner could possibly knock on, AJ or whoever's door. That's what I think should happen.
Yeah.
That fight right there makes sense on a whole list of levels. 100%. Jarrell Miller, Deontay Wilder, how good is your chin, really? And he will make you throw back. So there ain't going to be no boxing. He will make you throw. I love it. There you go. But listen, just because two guys lose doesn't mean it's done for them. I mean, I would absolutely love to see that fight. That's a hell of a fight.
100% agree with you. It would be your definition of scrappers. That would be your typical scrappers between two guys that they're not both going 12 rounds. Someone's going to get knocked out.
Loser leaves town.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And Lucy's obviously saying Miller has to go to legal situation sorted. Hopefully he does. I do honestly, I do like Miller's energy in terms of him bringing, look, we used to grow up and watch WWE, so he brings that WWF energy, especially when he's on the mic, and I do like him, man. Honestly,
he is literally a WWE wrestler who's just in the wrong ring, because he does everything in the ring and outside the ring. He literally does everything. He is a 300-pounder who's big, who's loud, who loves a bit of the old you-know-what. Yeah. He's made for the WWE. Vince McMahon is like, you're in the wrong profession.
You're in the wrong profession. No, honestly, big up to you, G-Man. We could spend hours talking to you, but I'm sure you've got a busy night. Congo are also playing in the AFCON. I don't want to miss out that tremendous game. But G-Man, once again, thank you so much for just joining us on the Boxing Roundup. Raz saying fatty versus skinny. Yep, it pretty much is that. And also big up to our clothing partners. We've just announced that we're going to be working now with D-Rock. So you see the lovely attire there from Parker. Also, you're seeing that from Johnny Nelson as well. Absolute legend. Clothing line is obviously available on the D-Rock website. All you have to do is to get 40% off. Type in iBoxingHub 24 and you get 40% off any clothing from the D-Rock website. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Wait, we've got a comment here from Lucy. Lucy's obviously saying that Parker jacket was nice. It looks absolutely juicy. I would absolutely get that as well. I can't even lie to you. But lads, have a tremendous night. And Gman, we definitely have to get you back on.
100%, man. I enjoyed this. This was
love
fun.
The energy, you love the vibes, and this is what we do. We just bring boxing and podcasting.
Mate, appreciate you having me on. Like I said, this flew by. It was real good fun. I enjoyed this.
Oh, love that, man. Bigger.
Yeah, guys. Well, you know, follow us on the socials, iBoxingHub. We're back here again on Sunday on 7:30. Have a lovely, productive week. Peace and love.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now.